already. What is going on, everybody? Of course, my name is Blitzwinger, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to, of course, a brand new episode of Blitzvillage. And today is going to be obviously a pretty special episode, or at least I hope so, because we will be setting up the final floor of our Avengers Tower. Now, as I mentioned that, I also do want to clarify something, and that is the fact that, no, this is not going to be the last episode as I had intended to do so, because A, we still need to put the letter A across the building, so that's something that we do need to go to work on. And then B, and additionally to all of the previous things that we've already dealt with, there's also probably a pretty good chance that I'm actually not going to end up building anything on the next floor, because a lot of you guys suggested that what we should do is go ahead and assemble the final floor as a lab, where we have like Jarvis and maybe even have like a silhouette or some sort of hologram of like Ultron or something like that, which I thought was a really great idea. So that's something that we will try to pull off. Now, with that in mind, I also did switch up the H to be yellow, because a lot of you guys pointed out that in the films it's actually yellow, not black. I also fixed the H to match and be the same length, because there were 3 blocks on this side instead of the 2 blocks that were over here. So I adjusted that, fixed it, and I think it still looks great. So with that in mind, of course, as always, ladies and gentlemen, let's kick things off by first and foremost giving you guys a shout out. So of course, if you want to be featured on an upcoming episode of Blitzvillage, please don't forget to send in your submissions over on twitter.com/Blitzwinger, or tweet them at me, which is at Blitzwinger. Now with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, let's kick things off for this week's showcase. Our first submission comes to us from Logan Mosby, who sends in a Blitzbot with a top hat, and that looks awesome. I absolutely love it. I love how it's like kind of like a British rendition or interpretation of the Blitzbot. He's like, top of the morning to ya, or something like that. But nonetheless, thank you so very much for that submission. That is awesome. Next submission comes to us from Nojus, or Najus, maybe N-O-J-U-S, and he or she sends in a Game Boy pixel art. That's an old school throwback right there. I never did have one of those like grape Game Boys. I actually never even seen one. But it did have one of those like translucent purple ones. If you guys remember what I'm talking about, you're like, yay! And if you don't, you're like, what is a Game Boy? So nonetheless, there you guys have it. If you guys ever had a Game Boy, let me know in the comment section below, and let me know which color you had. And then last but certainly not least, for our third and final submission for this week is Nihad Ayub, who sends in Tony Stark's like mansion. I mean, this place just looks really, really nifty. I like how you have it like off a cliff like that. I mean, it looks very cool, and also very appropriate submission, because of course we are also building something that technically belongs to Tony Stark. So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, let us begin our assembly work for today. So essentially what I've gone ahead and started to assemble is, first of all, I built these little walls around this area, because I thought to myself, you know what, we have all this wasted area here, or a whole bunch of space, so let's not put it to waste, and instead what we're going to do is we're going to make this the area where the Avengers can just hang out. So we'll build out like little couches for them, and maybe some seating and stuff like that, and just have that as like a little hangout spot for the Avengers and anybody else that comes by Avengers Tower, of course. So I think that should be a pretty good little solution, and that allows us to then also turn the final floor into a lab. So these are going to be kind of like pillars that are holding up the floors, so I just wanted to kind of like build those in because I thought it would look cool, and plus give it a bit more of a neat vibe to the whole structure. So I think that should turn out pretty well. And then of course we need to assemble our floor. So for the floor, at first I thought what I was gonna do is go with, take like a black wool and then maybe a block of quartz, and kind of go in a dominoes like pattern, or like checkers pattern, where it's like black, white, black, white, black, white, to just kind of like create like a cool little pattern on that floor. But instead, I think what we will do is we will position a whole bunch of quartz, and then we will just simply color that in with some carpet. We'll turn that into a black and white type pattern using some carpeting, and I think that could look really, really cool. So hopefully you guys will agree. If not, of course, and you have any ideas or suggestions, keep the comments coming, guys, because I read them all the time. I love all your awesome ideas, and it's one of those things that, like, every time I think to myself, okay, we're going to be done like very, very soon with the Avengers Tower, and then you guys submit something crazy cool, and I'm like, oh, I really want to do that as well. So it's like Every time that I think, okay, we are done. Yay, we are going to be finished with the whole build. Finally, we've done it. It's awesome. And then you guys are like, oh, yeah, and you should do this. And I'm like, yes, I should. Yes, I really should do that. That sounds really, really cool. So, again, this doesn't mean that this will be the conclusion of the Avengers Tower. I'm sure we will build out the Avengers Tower, in fact, on the next episode as well. Maybe even the next few episodes here, because I want to kind of like, you know, put the finishing touches on it. But again, even when we do finish it, quote unquote, it doesn't mean that we will be done, because I'm sure that at some point in the future I will come back to it and add more things to the build. So again, what that means is that if you have any ideas or suggestions or anything that you would like to see assembled, like for example, a lot of you guys suggested that you would like to see the laboratory for Tony to interact in and stuff. Again, that is certainly something that I would be very much welcome to do, and that's why we are doing it on the next floor. So if you have any ideas, again, keep the comments coming, guys. They are absolutely awesome. All right, whoops. Here we go. We are almost done with this floor. Again, that's why I said I'm not sure what today's episode is going to be, whether or not it's actually going to be like completing anything per se. I think it's going to be much more so an episode of just kind of trying to finish off a few different things and kind of set them up to be polished up, hopefully, on the next episode. So I think that could work out very well. So ideally, I'd like to lay out the floor, lay out the walls, and also put in the final rooftop, which is something that I certainly would not mind having present. You know what, actually, I just thought about something. So I put these here, and I don't really like that idea anymore. Instead, I think it would be kind of cool if we put, did I not grab it? There we go. If we put these here, wait, I'm not sure if we'll be able to actually scale them. Okay, here we go. All right, sweet. So that we could have access to the roof, because I think that would be really cool as well. All right, so let's finish this off with our blocks of quartz. And, of course, we need to work on, like, figuring out how to do some hologram designs and such. And hopefully, pretty soon they will update to Minecraft 1.9. I know some people have said that it is already available, but I don't believe it's available in all regions around the world. So maybe that's why it's still not available. Because I have my Minecraft settings set to the start the latest version, and I would assume that it would start that version if it was available. All right, so we are done there. So that looks cool. So there's our landing. And then this is going to be the hangout spot. And I think what I'd like to do over here is grab some stained glass, which, where is it? Is it in here? Yes, there it is. So maybe, I don't even know which color. Okay, let's go with maybe black. Maybe that will look cool. And we will just kind of lay this out. There we are. And just keep layering it out. Again, trying to give it this kind of cool, you know, vibrant, futuristic feel is definitely something that we are going for. So hopefully we will be able to actually pull it off. And then I just also know that I shouldn't use too many colors, because if you use too many different colors, they're going to start clashing with one another, and then it just starts becoming kind of a big mess of stuff. So as much as I'd like to just go and, like, you know, make this every color under the sun, I think we also need to be careful about which colors we pick and choose. Okay, so we also need some doors. So let's use some fancy doors. Maybe these birch doors. They do look kind of nice. Fortunately, we're going to have to take this down. Okie doke. I think those look pretty cool. So we're going to place that down there, and there we are. You walk on out, and you walk on in, and that works pretty well. In fact, we could put down a pressure plate. I wonder if this pressure plate would work with just character weight. I've never actually tried it. Oh, you can't even put stuff down there? Huh. Okay, well, that kind of takes away our plans. Okay, there we go. And then I guess I'm not able to actually build out over here, unfortunately. What we could do is, I guess, maybe just select that and then put that down. There we go. Just so that it's easier to walk in and out. I think that will work best. All right, so there we are. So we have this floor fully furnished, and, well, not furnished, but fully completed, which is awesome. Very happy about that. Now we get to move on to the next layer. And this is going to be the lab, of course. So for the lab, let's see what kind of walls we want, because this is going to be the final floor. So I think maybe the ceiling we will make out of blocks of iron. Is this going to be too low of a ceiling? I think it's good. I think it's going to be good. 3 blocks should be plenty. So I think this will be our ceiling. It's probably a block of iron. Because I think that would look cool. Again, it also would look very nice in terms of being very clean and a very kind of polished up finish to this whole build. This is going to be the only square room, or rectangular room, I should say. Oh, well, not fully rectangular, because of course it does have some cutoff points right here. In the entire building, which is kind of interesting. I'm trying to think if I want to just continue this kind of like pattern out here or not. Because I did do something different out here. As you can see, I used the lanterns to create a bit more of a cool vibe. So that's pretty intriguing. I think what I'm going to end up doing is probably utilizing something that is not nearly as much transparent. Because I feel like Tony Stark wouldn't want to have a whole bunch of glass all around this room, because, you know, what if he's working on like some secret technology? He doesn't want just somebody spying in. So I think what we will do is we will use the black glass again for this entire wall. So we'll have one fully glassed wall, which will be this outer edge. Kind of continues that pattern as well, and plus, because it's a stained glass, it's going to be like harder to see through it and stuff, so it kind of works within the storyline perspective as well, and actual usability and usefulness, I guess, more so than even usability. So there we are. Let's go ahead and fill this in. Okay. Whoa, what's going on with my mouse right here? All right. Whoa, careful. Here we go. All right, good stuff. Good work. Almost done. All right, I think we are done there. So now let's finish the ceiling, and then we need to decide what we do for the other walls. For the side walls and the back walls as well. So I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to pick yet, but I don't know. I guess we'll just take a look at the blocks and then kind of decide from there, because sometimes that is the best way to go about things. Another thing I wanted to address, because it was something that was asked of me several times over the last week or so, and that is, hey, Blitzwinger, what did you think of the Fantastic Four? So I don't know. I feel like a lot. I feel like I felt, sorry, about the film like a lot of other, like, you know, movie fans and such have felt about the movie, and that is the fact that the first part of the film is like actually really, really fun. Like, it's not flawless, but it really does a good job of, like, you know, just, I don't know, keeping your attention, and it's like it's a fun movie during that first part, and then as the movie keeps going, it kind of falls apart. Not kind of, it is absolutely falling apart. So especially the ending. I mean, it just was like, what just happened? I mean, it was just absolutely crazy as to, like, it was definitely felt like two different people were making the movie, or maybe more than just two, of course, because, you know, if you read all the rumors about how this movie was made and how it was a giant nightmare because, like, the creative people, I think Josh Trank is the name of the director, he was like a real big pain to deal with, but then the studio got involved. I mean, again, I don't know, I can't comment on rumors because I don't know whether or not they're true, so I don't feel like I have enough actual information to, like, make a coherent opinion on, but I can definitely say the fact that it does feel like the film is made by, like, the first part of the movie is made by one person, or maybe like one vision, and then something happened and it just kind of turns into a giant mashed potato of a film where you're like, what is happening anymore? I can't even understand. So again, I didn't think it was as horrendous as people have made it out to be. Like, again, I don't really think it's as bad as, you know, some people say, oh, it's like a 9% or something like that on Rotten Tomatoes. I really don't think it's that bad, especially because the first, like, I don't know, maybe 1/3 to up to 2/3 of the film are actually serviceable and not too bad. Does a pretty good job of, like, nailing all of its core elements, so to speak, but then, of course, it does fall apart. So I'm not going to argue that it's a good movie, but it's definitely not a horrifically bad movie either. All right, so speaking of horrifically bad, hopefully this thing does not look bad. We need to decide on walls. What do we do about the walls? Packed ice would be cool, but it could melt, so that's not good. What about this? I've never actually tried this block, or have we tried it actually? I think we did try it downstairs. This kind of looks like a hologram or like a screen. We could use that later for when we actually design things. So maybe this one right here, because it kind of looks like a really unique block. Ooh, that looks cool. Okay, that's what we're gonna go with. I think that's gonna look really, really cool. Okie dokes, there we are. And wait, why did I build this out so poorly? Wait, why am I even doing that? There we go. Yay! Now it looks good. It looks great even, I would say. Okay, let's put together these walls. This is almost like he took some technology from Ultron or something like that. It's definitely like a rare type of quartz or something that Tony imported. And he's like, listen, it makes me feel more concentrated and makes me do my creative work easier. Okay, careful. There we are. Come on. Whoops. No. Okay, that's overbuild. There we go. Excellent. Excellent. Smithers. That was Simpsons reference there for you. Okay, so we are almost done here. This is pretty awesome. In fact, you know what? I think Tony, even when he is in the lab, he probably would want to have like a little opening right here. Let me grab some more of these. Actually, maybe there are some other doors that we could use. Let's try this one. I wonder if this one would look cool. Stylistically, we will find out if it does. Okay, I think that does look kind of cool. So, we will build just essentially a little bit of a balcony. Wait a minute. I think we will do this like that. Like so. Boom. And then... Alright. I think that looks pretty sweet. And then we need some railing. So I think that's in here. Where is it? Which color? Probably the dark one to go along with the color of the doors. Sorry. I blanked on the word for some reason. So there we are. I think that looks pretty cool. And it's not too far, so it doesn't look like unrealistic or anything like that. And did I get that right on the center? I did, didn't I? Wow. Okay, that's kind of surprising. I mean, it's not even, actually, is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, that is in the center. Okay, I didn't even intend to do that, but it did ended up being centered, which is pretty awesome. So, yay. All right, so I'm pretty happy about all of the progress that we were able to make. We have our rooftop, and we have our entire building basically complete. So, essentially, the building itself is finished. So, of course, we have the top floor. There's the helipad side. We're going to put the letter A right around here, I think. So, like, right around... Probably we'll start about here and then work our way down to about there. So it'll be kind of like right there. That'll be the Avengers letter, and we'll get to that on the next episode. We also do need to get to work on the lab, so if you have any ideas, specific ideas for the laboratory, please leave those in the comment section below. And what I mean by that, like you could say something like, hey Blitzwinger, I think it would be really cool if you did like a Jarvis hologram and you utilized the sea lantern and the packed ice as well as the prism marine blocks to kind of create a hologram type shape or something like that. So leave suggestions like that. I'm absolutely stoked to see what you guys come up with. And what kind of ideas we can implement. Of course, we're going to do a little hangout area right here, so we'll put like little couches and stuff. And we are essentially done for today, so I think we did quite well. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Blitzvillage. I do apologize that it is going up on Monday instead of Sunday. I did forget to mention that at the beginning, but I was super duper busy yesterday, so I apologize about that. With that in mind, though, of course, as always, guys, have an absolutely fantastic day. I'll catch you lovely folks next time. Peace out. See you later, alligators. Bye-bye, guys.